Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm going to work on a 2009 Chevy Malibu with a 3.6 6-liter. I'm going to change the spark plugs today because my back is really hurting in the lower back. I'm just going to do the front three because the back three are kind of a booger. Let me show you what I have going on here. I'm also going to use my new light I just bought because it really lights things up. Now there's two covers that sit on top of this engine. One of them is connected to this prong, and that prong is kind of wraps over here. It's not too big. So when you pull it out, just pull it straight up. I was going to show you, but I've already got it off. And the other one is sits up in this area, and it's made out of rubber or silicone. And it has like not a clip, a suction cup kind of thing that slips down over this. I used a pry bar and went under here and lifted up on it so I didn't break it when I was trying to pull that out. That's metal, but the other thing made out of rubber, I thought it might just tear a hole through it. So I've got that off. I checked these spark plugs a couple days ago, and this is what they look like. Pretty dirty, pretty worn, a lot of gap, and I think they might be originals. Now I went down to O'Reilly's and they gave me the wrong ones, but I couldn't remember. I thought it was a 3.6, and they said, well, it could be a 3.5 or a 3.6, but there is no 3.5 on these. It's either a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder. Now there's the new spark plug. You can see the difference in the gap. So it runs good, no problems there. The little, I just bought it a few days ago, this car, and drove it 30 miles, 45 miles, whatever, and it ran fine. But we're going to put new spark plugs in it. In order to do that, you need a 10 millimeter socket to take these coil packs off. And to break them loose, I used a ratchet with a 10 millimeter. See if I can do that with this one while you're watching. And you just break it free and break the other one free. And then, to save time, I use my cordless drill and run them out. Nice thing about this car, it's got this nice little shelving area here, which makes a good workbench. Once you get the 10 millimeter bolt out, these just lift up out of there. Now I went ahead and unplugged the wiring harness to it, so it'd make it easier to lift up. So you just push on this tab and then wiggle it. It comes out. Push on the tab, you hear it click, wiggle it, comes out. Now, be careful doing this because, this is a 2009. Things get brittle. This little insulating thing there started breaking when I was trying to get this plug out the first time. The other three plugs, I watched the guy do it, and you can see them back there, but they're just hard to get to. One of them's over here. I'm hoping I don't have to take the power steering pump off or anything like that. I can just reach my way back in there. There's the third one way back in that corner. You can see. Now I bought this headlamp that you're seeing in use here, 2 of them for about 35 bucks, and it's a lot easier to use this than have an extension cord and a clamp-on light and worry about moving it, knocking it down. This, wherever you're looking, it's nice and bright. So let's get started and take these off. And I couldn't get my tripod or anything to set up properly on this car, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing and then do it and show it to you. So first thing I'm going to do, take out those other two 10 millimeters and pull the coil packs up. Then pull the spark plugs out. And again, you want to break them free with a ratchet because they're pretty tight, and then you can use your drill to pull them out of there. So let's get this going. Well, I got the spark plugs out. There's 2 of them. This is the third one, and as you can see, it's coated in oil. That cylinder's got a bunch of oil in it. If I can get it lit up so you can see it. That means probably have a leaky valve cover gasket. But that's the best looking plug of the bunch. Well, I took a screwdriver, put a paper towel there on the end of it. I pushed this down into the hole and then twisted it around and got most of the oil out of there. So now I can put the new spark plugs in. Well, I got the new spark plug in, but the wrench is stuck in there. So first I'm going to try an extension, see if I can wiggle it loose. That's not going to work. And I don't think my needle nose pliers will go down far enough, but we're going to try it. Let me put the camera down. Success, I got it out. I just took the needle nose pliers. Now what I do is I put the new spark plug in my extension with the spark plug wrench. Get that up here. Oops, I need my adapter. This is a process. So I get the extension like this. Put the spark plug in there. It's got a rubber gasket so it holds the spark plug in there good. And I started in several threads by hand. Then I put it on the drill and just sink it in. Let me show you. Okay, so there's the spark plug in the wrench. Slide it down in the hole carefully. Make sure it's centered. There's not a lot of gap in there, so then just start threading it in. When you can tell it's threaded in, not going crooked, if you want, you can put your drill on it and bring it home. And then we'll have to get out the needle nose pliers again to remove everything, and then we'll do it on the third one. Now these spark plugs do not get gapped. They're pre-gapped. If you try to gap them, I was told you can break them. So don't try to gap them. Just assume they did it right at the factory. Well, I'm hoping I can somehow add the second video to the first one since my camera shut off. But these just drop down in here. Now because of the manifold, you have to twist it a little bit to get it to clear, then put it back into position and just push it down where it belongs. Now there's some junk on there. Some crusty things from the broken wire. I'm going to get my vacuum. I'm going to vacuum that stuff up real quick. Oh, I should have done this before, but I didn't. I've got this little vacuum, and I've got a long skinny nozzle, and I'm pretty sure it'll just fit right down the tube there, suck up anything that went down there, because I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is some black pieces of plastic down there. I don't want them in there, so I'm going to vacuum them out. Okay, that looks better. Now I'll put this one on there. I turn it sideways so it clears the manifold, then put it in a position. Slide it down over the plug. Same thing with this one. Slide it down, twist it, pop it into place. Then you can put your wiring harnesses back on. Maybe. Click. Just like a torque wrench. If you use one of those. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then you put your 10mm bolts back in. There's 3 of them. And once you get them started, run them down with your drill if you have one, or put them all in by hand. It doesn't matter. Well, that wraps it up. That'll be the front 3. Because my back's hurting in the lower part, that bending over the back. I guess that light is on. It's going to kill my back, so I'm not going to attempt it today. If you guys, this light is made by Ossis, O-S-S-I-S, I think. Got it off of Amazon. You can buy 1 or 2. I bought 2. In case the battery goes dead in the middle of a job, I'll have a spare. Anyway, you can see the difference it makes. That's off. That's on. And when you're looking around for a bolt or a connector or something, you don't want to have a flashlight. This thing is pretty handy. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to try to splice these two videos together. I haven't attempted to do editing on my videos, but I need to learn to do it so I can get rid of the lags and stuff like that. So bear with me. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And maybe I'll make a second video, or be a third video now, of how to get those back spark plugs out. But I don't think they're going to be fun. A lot of bending over. The guy I watched was about my age and cut his hand a couple times reaching back in there. I can only imagine. You guys take care.